Hello, everyone. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Whatever you celebrate, I hope it's happy. This is Devin Grubb.
And Zach Grubb.
And welcome back to the Hawkins Hellfire Collective, where today we are discussing the finale of Season 2.
Episode 9, The Gate.
Yes. It's our Christmas episode.
It's also episode number 19.
Yeah.
So we've done 19. This will be our 19th episode so far, and I think technically it's 20 because we did that mini episode.
Yeah, and you didn't number that as like an actual episode.
That
was mini-sode 1.
I guess I can't count that then. I guess episode 20 will be our next one.
Yeah. So the wrap up.
Yeah.
When we talk about everything. But we're not doing that today.
No, because we do have another mini episode coming before that.
Yes, that'll be next week. But should we just dive right in?
Yeah, like this episode is fantastic. Like I can understand somebody not really vibing with season 2 towards the beginning, and especially with the episode that shall not be named, but the way it wraps up is fantastic. Right from the get-go, like the reunion between Mike and Eleven.
It was so good.
It was so good. Like, Mike is a blubbering mess. He's like, oh my god, I thought you were dead. And she's like, I've been listening to you every night.
And, like, my biggest takeaway from that scene was when he gets Hopper alone. And that's god. It's Finn Wolfhard, like, he knocked it out of the park this season, especially the episodes in, like, the back half of the season. But this particular moment, like, he is a mix of emotions, and it all comes out when he's with Hopper. He starts yelling at him, and then he just breaks down and, like, falls into his arms.
Well, he's like hitting him too.
Yeah, he's like punching him, and Hopper's just like, all right, kid, whatever. And it's because he's like, she was alive, you hid her from me. And then when he breaks down, you can tell that he's also relieved that it was like, okay, she was alive, you hid her from me, but you protected her. Like,
yeah,
and
Hopper...
you kept her safe. So he just like, he's feeling all of these emotions all at once, and
Hopper gives him a big bear hug, and he's just like, "It's okay, it's
right,
okay."
Right,
It's
it's such a good moment, and everybody on this show is like great actors, but they all have like moments where they really, really shine through,
and the chemistry between them shines.
Yeah, and this was a really big moment. I feel like for Mike and Hopper, because they don't really interact a whole lot, or they didn't interact a whole lot.
And there's more of it in season 3.
There's more of it in season 3 because, you know, Mike and Eleven are together because they know she exists, or she's still there.
But those interactions aren't with, like, Hopper from season 1 and 2. They're with the flandered eyes dad version of Hopper. I have feelings about season 3, but we'll get to it.
We'll get into season 3 soon.
Hashtag we'll get to it. That's our hashtag.
That's right. No, we say it enough.
Oh my god, when Eleven sees Dustin, you have teeth.
Also, like, her surrogate mommy too. Like, her and Joyce have a moment, and it's so, you don't see. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, she has a little moment with everybody, and it's really, really cool.
And she gives Max the cold shoulder.
Right. But you see how much of an impact these people had on her in that short amount of time that she was with them in season 1 for this moment to matter so much.
Yeah.
You know, like, you don't realize how much time she spent with them because season 1 moves so quickly. And she, obviously, they were a big part of her life for her to, first of all, want to go back and save them, and then what they,
it's the only part of her life that wasn't like this sterilized Papa experience,
right?
You know,
exactly.
It's the only warmth she's ever felt.
Exactly. And then they tell her that she needs to close the gate that she opened, but she knows that.
Yeah, she already knows what's up.
She's back. Yeah. I wrote An Abundance of Demodogs, new John Green book. I don't know. I think I was trying to make a joke, but
No, we were talking about this.
I don't remember what it's about.
Because I said that I totally forgot how many Demodogs there were, and I was like, why are there so many? Does that make sense? And I think in my head, I was thinking, Will coughed up one slug, and we got one Demodog.
Mm-hmm.
Not that many people went missing in the Upside Down for there to be that many Demodogs.
Right. Like, there was a lot of people, but it wasn't...
There was 10 tops in that library with Will, and that's where they were keeping all the bodies?
Yeah.
But they got Will out before he died. Maybe everybody had the capability to spit up more than one slug. To produce more than
one, right.
Maybe, I guess.
I mean, here, they have the potential, I guess, to have been incubating more than one. You know what I mean? Like, depending on how long they were dead and in the Upside Down.
Yeah, and you know what? Will was caught right... Will was caught right before they found him.
Right. So the longer...
If it only took that long for one slug,
right.
You're making a lot of sense.
The longer they're there would be the more time for them to incubate and possibly produce more, not just one.
Which is interesting that when you think about it, that they incubate in humans that are warm and they can't stand heat.
Well, at that point, they were in the Upside Down. They're not warm anymore. These humans are not cold.
They incubate better and dead people.
Right, and Will was half dead.
Yeah,
he was freezing when 11 found him in the Upside Down. His body temperature was already super cold.
Oh,
so
wow.
they're... Oh, look at us. So the people that were quote unquote incubating them were either dead for a while or dying. Barb was only dead for a couple days.
Makes you wonder why the Demogorgon didn't kill Will and then put him in the thing, because it seems like it killed other people.
I think Will got away from it. I think Will was...
Right, but it caught him. It hooked him up to the thing.
Right, at that point. But when he got taken to the Upside Down, I think he was able to get away.
No, yeah, he was. Right. I mean, I'm just saying, it seems like the Demogorgon killed people.
Maybe he thought Will was dead, because maybe he knocked him out.
No, I'm saying that it killed people and then hooked them up to the thing, but it hooked Will up to the thing while he was alive.
I'm saying maybe he thought Will was dead.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Maybe when he caught Will, he thought...
no point in killing this kid. He's already
half dead.
He smells dead.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, you've completely tossed this aside for me. No complaint. Makes sense.
Thank you.
If this theory holds up, that's perfect.
Give myself a round of applause. Pat him back. Ted's useless.
Always. Ted's always useless. We hate Ted.
God. Oh, it's just an interaction of hatred for me. In this scene,
yeah,
because it's
this
Billy.
Scene is rough.
It's Billy going to Mike's house, and Ted opens the door. Or no, Ted doesn't open the door. Ted refuses to open the door. He's sleeping with his newspaper. Poor Mrs. Wheeler's just trying to take a nice little bath and relax, read her novel, drink her wine, and Ted won't answer the damn door because he's useless. So I get why she's all like, "Oh, this young chap's paying me some attention."
Oh, look at that. He's looking for his sister. He's worried about her. His chest is oiled up. Yeah.
Sleazy Billy. We'll get back to him later.
Yeah, in season 3.
Well, no, there's a big moment coming up.
You're right. Yeah.
Okay, so again, this next note, it's because of Mike. Again, Mike coming in clutch. We're back to Will and everybody at the Byers' house.
They think closing the gate could kill Will.
Right, and Mike's idea is, well, we need to try to figure out how to get Will free before we can close the gate, since they're connected. They're a hive mind. And who says this? Make the host uninhabitable. Somebody says that.
Probably Dustin.
Somebody says that, and because I put it in quotes, But I didn't say it was Dusty Buns.
He's the only one who talks. Well, he and Mike. It was either him or Mike.
Right, but they were like, make the host uninhabitable. So this is when they come up with the idea of the...
Burn that sucker out.
Sweat Lodge. And Hopper has been a part of the Byers family from the start because he gives up the cabin.
I said the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He tells them to take him to the cabin where he was keeping 11. Mm-hmm. And that's where they make their little sweat lodge.
I think then we get Steve and Nancy talking it out.
Mm-hmm.
Steve knows what's up. Nancy, go with Jonathan. He's a pretty damn good babysitter.
That's what he solidifying my love. Steve has my heart.
Yeah.
As much as I am a huge fan of Eddie, Steve has my heart. I love Steve.
You're a fangirl.
I am a fangirl. I've been a Steve fangirl since the end of season 1.
Yeah. For good reason. Steve Harrington's the man.
He's great.
But, like, I also feel terrible for him. All the time.
Yeah.
So there was a really cool inversion of, like, an 80s trope that I really dug. When Mike and 11 are parting ways, she says to him, I can't lose you again. Right? Is that how that works? Or did he say it to her?
No, he says it to her because
he said it to her.
The girl saying it to the guy.
Yeah, when the guy goes off to war, like goes to like beat up the street thugs. I can't lose you again. Yeah, but this time around it's Mike saying it to 11 because she's the superhero. Like, I just like that little inversion.
They flip the whole damsel in distress thing
exactly
on its head when it comes to them.
Not like they made Mike a damsel in distress or anything.
No,
but
Mike holds it his own. But
he understands that she is powerful. She is the one who has to do this with her power. And he's in that opposite position of, like, I can't lose you again. Come home. Which is cool. I like that Stranger Things does that. Mm-hmm. They were always gonna be bucking some tropes by making their most powerful character a young girl.
Right.
But the fact that they lean in and they don't try to, like, masculinize Mike is good.
Yeah. They let Mike be a kid.
Yeah.
You know.
I think then we get the father-daughter talk.
Yeah, they have their little father-daughter talk in the car. And
a guy in a truck?
a nice man
in a truck?
In a big truck.
A big truck. And that's actually really funny, because I remember when we were talking about this episode, we were talking about, like, it must have been different back then, that she can just hop into a truck with a big guy and that guy not be on, like, a watch list.
Right.
But no, Hopper's like, are you serious? You did that?
He also tells her about his daughter for the first time. Mm-hmm. And uses is instead of was.
Sarah's my girl, not was my girl, is my girl.
He's also scared that he's going to lose 11 too.
Yeah.
With, like, everything going on.
I think this is the first time he says something about being like a black hole or a curse too, which comes back in season 4.
Yeah, well, and there's a genuine apology between the two of them in this moment.
She doesn't tell him about 8 though.
Nope. Never brings that up. Oh, wonder why.
Yeah. He does, like, immediately prove to 11 that 8 was wrong though. Like, these people love her. They care about her.
Yeah.
They are her family.
Exactly. They hide the Demodog in Will's fridge. Sorry, it's just a really good Dustin and Steve moment.
They Dustin and Steve put the Demodog in the freezer.
in the buyer's freezer.
Yeah. And I wrote down, does that ever come up again? Like, does it ever come back that they put a Demodog in the freezer to, like, study it for science? I don't think that's ever mentioned again. I
don't think so either.
Like, that's...
The buyers just have a random...
They had a Demodog hanging out in their freezer for however long.
What stinks? Oh, it's just the Demodog in the freezer.
Yeah, it's the plant monster carcass that I got chilling in there. We gotta wait until we get a scientist in here to check it out.
Oh, God. And then they try to kind of figure out how they can help our ragtag group of friends.
Mike making plans again. They're
making plans, trying to help, and then Steve puts the towel on his shoulder. Means he means business. He means business with the towel on the shoulder. Like, I promise to keep you safe. I'm gonna keep you safe.
You know what? All through season 1 and 2, Mike is the one making plans and coming up with, like, their next move. I guess Mike being completely useless for most of season 4 is actually a pretty interesting flip on the character who's constantly like in control
In
and
charge.
figuring out how to make things work and how to get from point A to point B.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he still kind of does in season 4, but he's just insufferable the whole time.
So I feel like we wouldn't have as big of a problem about Mike in season 4 if he wasn't so, like, crappy to 11 in the beginning.
I mean, that's a big part of it, but I also feel like they really didn't give Finn Wolfhard anything to work with.
Honestly, I feel like I don't know that I've said this before. I don't even know if I've said this to you, but it's just I feel like the California crew, with the exception of 11, because she spends most of her time that season with the Nina Project.
Yeah.
They did the California crew dirty, with the exception of Argyle, because he was fantastic. But Jonathan, Will, and Mike...
I don't know, Will had some really, really powerful emotional moments where we really got into his character.
Yeah, but for the most part, like... Did you really care about the crew in California?
When they met up with Susie.
Okay, but was that because of Susie?
That was because of Susie and Argyle.
Right.
They were the best things about those scenes.
So, like, whenever we traveled to them, I didn't care as much because
Which is very funny because we thought we weren't going to care about Hopper and Russia.
Right. But I feel like the stakes with them weren't as high as the stakes with Hopper and Russia, as the stakes in Hawkins. I mean, even as the stakes with 11, with her past. Like, that was interesting. It was interesting to see her past.
I never felt like they were actually in danger.
Right. They're just driving.
Like,
we're just driving.
Oh, those guys are going to find us and shoot us. No, they're not.
Right. You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, like, I couldn't even suspend my disbelief for that, you know?
Right. Like, you guys are good. You guys are going to be in season 5.
Did I think they were going to kill Hopper? No,
but
like, maybe.
Because they made such a big deal about him being dead and then alive,
right,
so.
But maybe he'd get maimed. Maybe Joyce would die. That passed my mind a few times, that they might kill her off. Maybe Hopper's new buddy would die, and I liked that character a lot, so I didn't want to see him die. There were stakes.
Right.
And I loved Argyle. Argyle's a fantastic addition to the show, but I never felt like those characters were in danger.
They didn't seem like they were unsafe at all.
Yeah. Even during the shootout, I was like, well, they're all going to make it out of this.
Right.
This isn't like...
Right.
You're not gonna shoot Jonathan in the shoulder
before he even leaves his home.
Yeah.
Like, that's... Yeah.
We'll get off that tangent, but I feel like that kind of plays into a lot of what we talked about in the various seasons about the stakes behind things.
Yeah.
I think it's a complaint that a lot of people have about Stranger Things, is that you never really feel like your characters are in danger unless they've been, like, marked for death, like we see with Eddie. A lot of... We have thoughts and opinions, but, like, that character was pretty much set up.
He was.
Yeah.
He was. I knew it was going to happen, like, in, the moment that he has with Dustin, and when they're, like, preparing for battle.
Yeah, totally.
He essentially, like, signed his death certificate when he tells Dustin, don't ever change. I was like, well, you're not coming back from this.
Yeah. No subtlety there.
Like, it's gonna break me, but you're not coming back. So...
Then we get Billy. That's why we had that tangent. We wanted to enjoy a conversation before we started talking about Billy.
But a great line from Steve. Yeah, it's me. Don't cream your pants.
Yeah. He's like, what are you... Yeah.
Steve Harrington. Steve Harrington. Yeah, it's me. Don't cream your pants. Like...
So dismissive of all of his bullshit. I love it.
But he immediately attacks Lucas, a 13-year-old boy. Are we just supposed to forget that? Are we supposed to, like... I can't.
No.
I can't.
The character is irredeemable.
That, like, and then, because Steve is awesome, he goes to protect them, and they get into a big fight, and Steve's winning. Steve is winning.
Steve really turns that fight around.
Kicks his ass, and then Billy picks up a plate because he has to fight dirty, because that's the only way.
Yeah, Mr. Oily Muscle Man gets his ass beat by Steve the Hair Harrington.
Right, and he's the only way that he can beat Steve is if he smashes a plate over his head, because he has to fight dirty.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to do it. And then Max comes in clutch.
I completely forgot that's how that goes down.
She sedates him. She takes she
just puts a needle in it.
She takes a syringe that was for Will that was lying on a table. She just grabs it, like, walks over and just stabs him in the neck with it. Like, no big deal.
Smartest possible thing to do in that situation. But then something happens that really icks me out that I hate. I hate that Max had to do this, but it's like the only language Billy speaks. She had to scare the shit out of him. She had to.
She had to hit him in the balls with the bat.
Like, sink the nail bat between his legs and be like, "Are we clear?" Like the same kind of abuse that not only Billy suffers, but that he kind of inflicts on her. Mm-hmm. She has to turn it back on him and be that kind of person because it's the only thing he understands.
Yeah, I mean, I think I said it before. I feel like that's part of, like, that's why people, like, are drawn to Billy, because they feel bad for him, like, with the whole, like, the abuse and everything. And I get that, but
you can recognize that a person was abused, but if they're abusing others,
right,
you can't just turn a blind eye to that.
Right, and the whole racist thing is a problem.
Yeah, wildly racist.
That's a problem for me. Like, you can be abused and not be a racist.
Not that many people listen to us, honey. You don't have to choose your words carefully.
But I want to. I don't want to sound like I'm being insensitive or anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like
No, it's rage that he has that he is using Lucas as an outlet for.
Right.
He is using...
It's unnecessary.
He is using racism as an outlet for his rage.
Yeah. And then they steal his keys.
Yes, they do.
They steal his car keys.
Because their party needed a Zoomer.
Yep,
and they got
one. Then we see them making the sweat lodge. Nothing really happens right there.
Yeah, nothing big. 11 goes back to the lab.
That's the first time she's back there since she escaped. Mm-hmm. Which, that's a big deal. Like, a big, big deal for her.
Yeah. Short scene, but very powerful watching her walk up to the lab.
Yeah.
They come back to the car, and Max is driving, and they're, like, trying to help her drive the car, and Steve's waking up, and Dustin's taking care of him. He's like, it's okay, big guy, you're all right.
You did good. And, like, Steve's freaking out, and Max is, like, screaming in the front seat for them to stop talking. She has to concentrate.
Yeah. Oh, man, a lot of fast cuts here, because then we cut back to
we're back at the SWAT lodge, and Joyce knows it's not Will. She's remembering everything that was taken from her because of this thing that is inhabiting Will, and she's like, let's turn the heat up full blast, and Jonathan's like, no, my God, Mommy, no! But, like, he doesn't get it. He's not seeing...
He's not as strong as
He's not as strong as she is. He's not as strong as Nancy, because
no.
Nancy's like, dude, you gotta chill.
I'm willing to argue nobody in this show is as strong as Nancy, not even 11.
I feel like he doesn't fully understand what's happening.
He's only seeing Will in pain.
He's not seeing that it's really not Will in pain. It's the thing inside Will.
Right.
That is. Because Nancy has to no, look at his neck. Like, this, it's working.
Look at his neck.
Like,
yeah.
You have to let it happen.
We cut back to the crew in the car. Steve takes the lead.
They're going
into the tunnels. He gets everybody he gets them to makeshift their masks.
Dustin's the heart in this moment, because Dustin knows that Steve, even though Steve just got the crap beat out of him, he knows that Steve can still protect them and keep them safe, because he gives him, like, a little pep talk.
Yep.
And he's like, Dustin, you sweet little bear.
Because Dustin's decided, like, I'm your little brother now.
Yeah. You belong to me.
Yeah. To me, that was just more like, I was so sure Steve was going to be a cop.
Yeah.
Again, he's taking the lead, like he's putting himself in the dangerous situation.
This season really set it up that way.
Set him up as a hero, and then I work at Scoops Ahoy, and I get drugged by the Russians.
He's still a hero.
He's a big time hero in season 4. Season 3, Steve gets some silly shit going on.
Yeah, well, It's true. I'm excited to start season 3.
Part of the reason I wasn't a big fan of season 3. So many characters just in situations that don't make sense for what we've established. I mean, they're fun, but I don't know.
And it made us want Burger King a lot. Do you remember that?
It did, yeah.
Product placement. We were like, oh, let's get some Burger King.
I pride myself on a person who doesn't let advertising affect him very much.
It wasn't in the show. It was like Burger King was running like a Stranger Things promo, and at the time we lived down the street from a Burger King, and we were binge watching it on the 4th of July, and we were like, well, we're not doing anything for dinner. Let's go get some Burger King.
But we did that for like 3 days.
No, we didn't. No, we just got it the day that we were binging it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because we were like, okay, we have to put a pin in this and go get some food, and then we can come back and eat and watch.
Oh man.
Hopper finds Owens.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of cutting back and forth at this point.
So we're back at the lab, and Hopper finds Owens, and like Owens is he's not bleeding out, but he's bleeding on the stairwell, and Hopper's like, "Oh yeah, this is 11. This is that girl. You're gonna make sure that she has like a good life, and all of this gets put behind her, right? And I'll get you out, and that's what's gonna happen, right?"
Yeah.
And Owens is like, "Yeah, sure," and he's like, "No. That's what's gonna happen, right?"
which is funny, because I feel like he didn't have to be intimidating with Owens. It's just like...
No, but that's just his nature.
Cut back to everybody in the tunnels. Dustin gets that dust blown in his face.
Mm-hmm.
I think if this is considered the Upside Down, which I think it should be because of the particles, that means everyone has been to the Upside Down.
To the Upside Down.
Yes.
If the tunnels count. If the tunnels don't count, the majority has been to the Upside Down, but there's still a handful that
haven't really been on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, technically,
Lucas.
I think just Lucas and Max.
Lucas, Max, was Mike? Was Mike in the Upside Down?
No,
Mike's never been to the Upside Down.
Mike has only been in the tunnels. So Lucas, Max, and Mike.
Yeah, Dustin goes in season 4. All the older crew go.
All the older ones. Jonathan has been in the Upside Down. He went in with Nancy in season 1.
Will hasn't been since season 1.
Will hasn't been since season 1, but
good.
Will has been. Yeah, we don't need Will back in the Upside Down. Oh God, please don't make Will go back to the Upside Down. That poor baby.
So okay, we cut back to the sweat lodge, and it's working. And my thought was...
part of it's also... Isn't part of it because they're burning the hive from the inside?
Yes. They're Molotoving the cave.
It helps, I feel like that is helping the sweat lodge people.
Yeah, I said Steve lights this bitch.
Because they do. They light the tunnels to burn the hive from the inside, and as this is happening, it cuts back to the sweat lodge where the thing comes shooting out. Right.
Okay, so I did have a couple of things here, though. Like, fire is incredibly effective against these things. Yeah. But gonna cut back to season 4.
We have to.
2 things. One gets hurt. Vecna gets hurt, but mostly brushes off the Molotov cocktails. Like, the first couple they throw at him, like, he's just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna keep walking. Oh, I'm gonna keep walking. It's not until he gets hit with a shotgun blast that's like, oh my god, it'll flying out the window. Like,
I think
fire is so effective against these things.
Yeah. Maybe it's because he was human.
Then it should be even more effective. He's human. Like, he should be hurting real bad.
Well, it does say that Will does say that he's, like, really, really badly hurt.
Yeah, but, like, I don't know. These things can't stand the heat so badly that it stops them in their tracks. And Vecna is connected to all of them. You know what I mean?
You do raise a good point.
And also, knowing how effective fire is on these things, why in God's name didn't they just light the house on fire?
Right? Just take it out from...
the outside. They didn't even have to go in.
They didn't have to go in. They could have just, like...
fill some super soakers full of, like... gas and just light the place up.
Light it on fire, right?
Let Vecna burn in there. Right. If he jumps out the window or something, break out the Molotovs and the shotgun. But like, They know.
Right. Because that would have...
Maybe I'm being pedantic here.
I don't know. I feel like that would have taken out the Demobats immediately.
Well, they weren't all inside the house, were they? Weren't they around the property?
But they were around the property. No, I mean the Demobats that Eddie and Dustin were dealing with.
Oh, if they lit their weapons on fire?
If they would have lit their weapons on fire, but if they would have lit the house on fire, then all of them it all would have like just collapsed around them because they're all part of Vecna. That hive mind, right?
You're right. The bats would have just
died too. Everything would have just like whoosh, because you would think
too easy.
Exactly. Then we wouldn't have season 5. I
feel like this should have crossed their mind. There should have been a reason why they didn't do that.
Maybe there is, and we just haven't.
But now, if they bring it up, it's going to be a retcon. It's going to be going back and saying we messed up.
But I need to know what happens in those 2 days. Even though that's not a 2-day.
That's not even what we're talking about.
I know. but you're right. Like that, if they would have touched on it, then it'd be like, well, too many people ask questions, so we have to go back and
there's this really pedantic podcast out there that won't leave us alone.
Oh my god. I would lose my mind if we found out that like one of our weekly listeners is one of the Duffer brothers.
They talk a lot of shit.
They seem like really, really big fans, but they sure talk about us a lot.
I love this show. I really do.
This is the only show I feel like that we can like really do this with, though. You know what I mean?
Well, that we're watching right now, yeah. Well, hopefully we can find other shows to do this with, because if people actually like listening to us talk, we're going to have to dive into some stuff once Stranger Things is over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Makes my heart sad a little bit.
I know, right?
To think of the show ending.
Okay, so the smoke monster flies out of Will and into the sky.
Yes.
For a second there, I was thinking, did that ever like come back? But no, it does. Like towards the end of the episode, it rushes back into the portal.
Yeah.
But also Russia gets a piece of it. Oh, I think that comes in the next season.
That's the next season. Yeah. We find out stuff about Russia in the next season. Mm-hmm. Russia is heavily involved next season.
Yeah.
Dart comes back.
Well, before that, we do see 11 at the gate.
Oh, we do?
Yeah. I think.
I thought that was after.
Yeah,
that's where it is in my notes.
You have some notes on it. I don't.
I just have Dart comes back. Dart comes back. I thought it was to say goodbye, but it's kind of not. Dustin uses it as that to buy some time and.
Well, it doesn't seem like Dart wants to attack Dustin.
No, he like stops him and he gives him his little 3 Musketeers. And while he's doing that, it lets everybody else kind of
get around him,
and
he was
trying to stop them from leaving.
So I had a really interesting thought while this was going on. So this relationship between Dustin and Dart makes it very clear that Demogorgons and Demodogs do not need to eat meat.
Mm-hmm.
So we know the Demogorgon ate like a deer in season 1. They were feasting on animals, but they don't have to. They're omnivores. They don't have to eat meat.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if the fact that they're attacking people and eating meat has less to do with them as like life forms, as creatures, because obviously like before one found the Upside Down,
mm-hmm.
they were just wandering around. They probably weren't eating animals because there were no animals.
I remember we were talking about this.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if their fixation on that has more to do with being connected to Vecna.
Yeah.
Like,
and him telling them.
Well, it's his fixation with predator and prey, like the spider and the fly kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. Mm-hmm.
I don't think Demogorgons, Demodogs, any of these creatures are necessarily out to kill people.
Blood, right?
Until
they're told
he's in charge.
Yeah,
until he's hooked up to the hive mind. They may have even been peaceful,
right? Because we've already kind of established that Dart has sort of broken away from the hive mind a little bit.
At least to the extent that he can communicate with Dustin on his own.
Right? Like he still went with all of the other Demodogs and everything like that when they was being called to do so, but
like having him eat something other than meat, I guess, like broke him from the control of the hive mind to a certain extent.
Yeah.
He had his own will. He had his own thing he wanted to do. He wanted to eat nougat.
Right.
It's silly, but like that's a big deal. And I feel like that's something that should come back in the final season. Like maybe there's a way to break Vecna's control over the hive mind.
Right. Besides with like music.
Yeah. Food.
And then Dustin and Steve are left in the tunnel.
They are.
Mm-hmm. That happens again in season 4, but it's with Eddie instead. So.
Yeah. So at what point do we see the smoke monster behind the gate? Because I actually wasn't sure if that made sense.
So I put... Okay, I'm just going to read my notes aloud here. Mind Flayer starts to come out again towards 11. She channels all of her anger to close the gate and send it back. But she's not sending it back. It's retreating. And all the Demodogs die.
Yes.
That was a dramatic reading.
So
of Devin's notebook.
Okay, so like the Demodogs die when it's cut off, but like I guess the pieces of it that remain can be kept alive. Because obviously the Russians capture some of the smoke monster. Right?
They have the particles in season 4. It's the particles.
No, in season 4 they open that big door and it's the swirling smoke behind it.
I thought it was particles.
Nah, that was a smoke.
Oh.
Yeah, because they've got all their Demogorgons in tubes that they're creating, and then behind that big wall, when they open it up, it's the smoke swirling around.
Let's not. We'll find. Let's see what we get told in season 3.
We're gonna back pocket this.
Yeah,
I feel like this is a conversation for later
because the Russians aren't involved yet.
No,
the Russians don't get involved until next season, so we should put a pin in that for now. Put it on the board. Bing.
Yeah, maybe we can revisit that and see if we can come up with like an explanation for how that's possible. Because we know that they obviously have pieces of dead ones or whatever. Right.
Because that's how they're able to make more.
Right.
But with, like you said, how did they get that?
Yeah, how would they have gotten pieces of the smoke monster?
The smoke thing.
I'm going to keep calling it the smoke monster because it's basically the smoke monster from Lost.
Except it doesn't make like mechanical sounds.
No, it's a better version of the smoke monster from Lost. That was actually thought through. Duffers, for as much shit as I talk, I'm calling this out right now. You guys obviously had better plans than the showrunners of Lost.
I really liked Lost.
So did I.
And then, yippee, we get justice for Barb. How about some justice for Bob? How about that?
Bob Newby, superhero. Yep. We didn't even talk about closing the gate. We went straight to Barb.
Well, I talked about closing the gate.
Oh, yeah, you're right. All the Demodogs died.
I just talked about it.
You're right.
Talked about it.
It was just such an epic scene. Like 11 floating off of the ground.
Yeah, well, that's okay, so go back and talk about it. Say what you want to say.
It was just really cool. It was incredibly well shot. Like, she floats off the ground, her nose is bleeding, her makeup's running, and she's screaming. Hopper's looking around and seeing all the dogs. She's bleeding from all
of her orifices.
Yeah, everywhere.
Like, her eyes are bleeding, her ears are bleeding, her nose is bleeding.
And Hopper's looking around, all the Demodogs are just falling off the walls. Like, it's so cool.
No, it is a really, really good scene. It's a great scene.
Yeah.
And it shows just how powerful she is.
Yes. And okay, I do have another thought here.
But this is powered from hate.
Yes, this is powered from hate.
Which we know that she can
bad
power
memories.
From love and good memories, but we don't know that yet because season 4 didn't happen yet in this timeline.
So one's plan is to send the smoke monster after 11 when she's trying to close the gate, underestimating her. And he pulls it back when he knows she can't beat it.
As I said, it retreats.
It retreats. I think that's a very... If we're going to accept the truth that all of this is planned, that one is in control during this scene in season 2, he tried to use the smoke monster to get to her, and he made it retreat when he realized how strong she was.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess that's not important, but I feel like it is important to at least point that out, that he's like, at this point, he is gauging her strength.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Because they have that, like the little army has that whole conversation with her in season 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think context-wise, it's important.
I would agree. She becomes Jane Hopper because Owens makes a birth certificate for her.
Yep, Jane Hopper.
She's Jane Hopper. She's officially Hopper's little girl.
And we never see the aunt again.
Nope. We had some speculation about that. It has been solidified. The aunt does not come back into play.
Nope.
And then we go to a dance.
The snowball.
Daddy Steve takes Dustin to the dance, gives him a little pep talk.
Gets the hair.
Gets the hair all ready. Tells him he looks great.
Dustin the hair Henderson.
And he's just and Steve just looks so happy that he was able to like
instill some confidence in the kid.
Yeah, like it's just great. They're my favorite, and I hate middle school girls because Dustin just wants to ask you to dance, and they're all like, "No, I don't want to dance with you. No."
But then Nancy dances with him.
Nancy dances with him. So cute. You
You
didn't write any notes about the snowball. This is me going off.
No, I can actually touch on this because I think it's really funny that they decided to do that. Well, not funny. It's sweet because it's kind of alluded to in season 1 that Dustin had a crush on Nancy.
Crush on her, yeah.
And in all of the comics that talk about the times before all of the craziness went down, Dustin's always really fixated on that time Nancy dressed up as an elf for them for their D&D game.
Yeah.
So it's like with extra context, it's even cooler that she was like, you're my favorite of my brother's friends.
My brother's friends. Yeah, it's really sweet.
Like by a long shot.
And she also gives him like a little confidence boost. Like she basically tells that her like middle school girls are like they're stupid. She's like, but they'll figure it out eventually. And, like,
yeah, and she's like, you're gonna drive them wild,
right? 11 gets to come to the dance.
She does.
And her and Mike finally have their
snowball
dance together. Will finally feels some normalcy. Like a girl asks him to dance and he's like, yeah, okay. Like he finally feels a little bit normal. Even though she calls him Zombie Boy when she asks him.
Hey,
like,
it works for him.
Right, he's fine. He's just like, yeah, I'm finally going to get to be like a normal kid right now. And then Max and Lucas have their little moment, and it's adorable. Max and Lucas heart.
Yeah.
And then we pan out of the school, and this is where that important song choice comes to play. While this is all happening, Every Breath You Take by The Police is playing. And you pan out, and everything turns all upside downy, and lo and behold, above this school is
the Mind Flayer.
The Mind Flayer, what we know as the Mind Flayer, because right now we still believe that the Mind Flayer is the big bad of everything.
Yeah.
And right as it ends on the line of the song, "I'll be watching you," and then that's the end of season 2. And they just really know how to use their songs.
Yeah.
They really know how to choose their songs.
It's pretty literal, but in a good way, because it's such a big payoff in season 3 when it straight up says like, I was watching you, I was trying to figure out like how best to approach this.
Well,
like,
doesn't Vecna tell 11 that like he's been watching them?
Billy,
in season 4?
Billy says it in season 3.
I know Billy says it when he's being controlled, but doesn't Vecna say something to that? Like he
confirms that he was the one pulling all the strings,
right? Like that he's been watching them from, watching her from the beginning.
Yeah.
So it all kind of comes.
Yeah, Vecna/Henry/1
full circle.
It was a really good finale. Like, a really, really strong finale. All of the stories converging into, like, the final moments worked incredibly well.
Yeah, and it was very fast-paced. Very fast-paced, especially when it went to... Because it would, like, jump from story to story to story to story.
But it never felt it never felt rushed.
It didn't feel rushed. It didn't feel choppy. It all flowed. But it was, like, 1 minute you're here and 1 minute you're there. And you're, like, on the edge of your seat the whole time. Because everything that's happening with the different groups was so... interesting.
And this is the same season where we stopped all momentum for a full hour. My God. We don't
have to talk about that anymore. It's over. Unless she comes back.
You're right. We'll save it for the recap of the entire season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We can just gloss over it. We don't
Sure.
have to really discuss it too much.
I will.
We're just we'll be just putting out the important points. That's not an important point.
I will say this, and we're going to talk about it in minisodes, I'm sure, but I finally got my hands on the comics that are now no longer canon.
Yeah.
And one of them is like 8 is front and center on that cover, and she's in it for like 4 pages.
Gosh, they don't even like her in her own story.
No, like she's barely a piece of the story.
Aww.
And I was going into it thinking, like, I wonder if they're going to try to do something interesting with 8. No,
Poor
she
girl.
is there for these other characters' story, and it's very good.
You're just there to drive everybody else's story.
It's true, and honestly, I was pretty okay with it. So just throwing that out there, that even in a book where they made her like the main feature of the cover, she's not even important.
Damn.
Literally just a plot device.
That's too bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that was season 2.
We have been through 2 seasons of Stranger Things running this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody listening, thank you for
thanks
sticking with us this long.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We love knowing that we have some
listeners.
Some listeners. Again, we are on Instagram. It's the same handle. It's at Hawkins Hellfire Collective. I pretty much am the one who kind of runs that. But if you are a listener and you don't follow us and you want to follow us, give us a follow. Feel free to message us. We've gotten a couple cool messages recently. We do respond.
Yeah, I mean, we have a possible collab in the works. It'd be really cool if that comes to fruition.
Yeah. So I mean, if and when it does, we will obviously give you some details on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, give us a follow. Listen to us. Give us a follow. Feel free to reach out and talk to us. We like to talk to people about the show.
Yeah, give us
share
your theories.
Share your theories. We've had some conversations with some listeners who have like different theories than us, and it's been really cool to hear what other people have to say. So
honestly,
we're open.
I would love to have, if we got enough people reaching out to us, I would love to do a whole episode just about people's theories, like going through and saying like, hey, we talked to this person, we talked to that person. Here's what's on their minds. Here's what we think of it. That would be really cool.
Right. Like, it's really cool to hear that, like, people agreeing with our theories, people who've heard our theories and are like, whoa, that's really cool. Or honestly, people who are like, well, I don't really agree with your theory. I think it's this. And then they present their own theory and it's like, oh, I didn't see it that way. Like, that's what I love about this show, is that it's so open to being able to theorize about different things. So give us a follow on Instagram and talk to us. We love it.
Yeah, hit us up. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So on that note, I'm Devin Grubb.
I'm Zach Grubb.
Dusty Buns gets it done. And we'll see you in the new year.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.